Hey guys, this is Marco from MarkTech. If anyone's wondering, I review audio gear, and for today I've got something very good for you, something that I've been wanting to buy for a while now, and it's actually a new audio interface. It's from Audient, the new ID14 MK2, and I gotta say, it's a wonderful interface. Alright, so what we have here is two gain knobs. They go from 0 to 10. Very clean gain. The next thing we have is the metering knob. It's very usable, as you can see. And there's a volume knob that can control, volumes from your main speakers, from your headphones. The middle button is the ID. That's a custom button, and of course have two fan and power switches. They're separate. That's very nice to have. We've got a JFET input for your guitar and two headphone outs that are unfortunately not separate, so they are sort of linked together, This is basically just for convenience. And on the back we have two mic and line inputs, and of course we've got two pairs guys of monitor outs. That's great. Or you can use one pair for monitor and the other pair for, let's say, headphone amp, and we can expand to outboard gear via optical input, and the whole thing is powered via USB-C, and I think that's very great for mobile use. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it as far as the inputs and outputs go. All right, so here I am once again. I haven't talked about the build of the interface much, but in reality there's not much to talk about. Audio devices, they're like that bar dynamic headphones I have in the corner there. They're sturdy as hell, built like a tank. The interface itself is basically all metal. Even the all the knobs, they're all metallic. The knobs are also very sturdy. There's not much movement if you try to sort of shake them from left to right. The only bad thing about the whole interface part is that front black part. It's a little bit let's just say it's a fingerprint magnet, and it's kind of annoying to clean, but hey, there's always some sort of sacrifice. Okay, so let's talk about the measurements of the device, and what's actually different from the first generation. I think that's an important thing to know. And yeah, I gotta say that for about $250, or the cost of the device is around $250 or so, I don't think any audio interface measures this well. The noise floor is extremely low. The mic preamps are very clean. They don't have any coloration. I believe they're about 58 dB. They offer about 58 dB of gain. So, and I know you guys want to hear this, because this is enough to power your SM7B without a cloud lifter, and you've still got a little headroom to spare. But of course you can always buy a cloud lifter and get more headroom if you want. The instrument input, the JFET input on the front, it's very clean and also very powerful. I'll be providing a sample for you later, so you know how that actually is, if you play on your electric guitar. What more is there to tell? Oh, of course, I can't forget that. I've mentioned in the before I was sort of showing the device that the headphone outs are not separate. That is, well, it is what it is, So, if you're listening to music and you've got both your inputs plugged in, you're going to be hearing the, your music at the same time. So, you can't control them separate. There's no separate volume control or anything like that. Like I said in the beginning, it's more convenience use than anything else. So you don't have to, change your adapters all the time, basically. What more is there to tell? Yeah, the metering. The metering is very nice. You've got all the, all the metering that you need. So from 0 to, I believe, let's check. Yeah, it's from 0 to -36 in about 5 or 6 steps from one to another. So it's very usable, and that's great. And as far as the differences between this one and the first generation go, the big difference is, all the important stats. There's more. I think the preamp gain is the same, but the noise floor is lower. The headphone out is much better than the first generation. This can easily power 300 ohm headphones. I think this is, as far as mobile interfaces below $300 go, I don't think there's one that's actually more powerful than this one. But I do have to say, guys, and this is very important, this is only, you get, what I want to say is, if you want to get the best power from this, as far as the headphone out goes, you've got to have it plugged into USB-C, okay? So it's got to go from USB-C to USB-C. That is unfortunate, but that's just how it is. The USB, your standard USB A port just doesn't offer enough power, so you can't squeeze the same amount of power as far as your headphone outs go from USB-A as you can from USB-C. All right, let's do a quick overview of the ID control panel. I do have to mention, guys, I don't know if this is really important or not, but the Audient guys, they say that you have to first install the ID14 drivers and then plug the actual device in. I don't know if that's really important or not. Maybe there's an order to things, maybe there's not. I suggest you do it, the way they say you need to do it. So, as you can see, the whole interface is very easy on the eyes. You can't really, resize it. You can hide what you want to see from, on here. So I've got, the digital inputs are hidden just because I don't need them. There's your mic 1 and 2 input. I've got to set this to infinite just because I do not want to monitor myself through the interface itself, because I do the monitoring through Reaper. The DAW portion is basically what you hear on your computer. The DAW 3 and 4 is also loopback, and you've got separate mixes. So if you got a singer and a guitarist, and you want to send a different sort of signal to their own headphones, you can do it through here, if you want them to have a different mix. That's what I want to say. You also have the dim button. The old button is basically speaker number 2. There's also a talkback option, a phase switch. I wish there was, a separate volume gain for headphones and for speakers, but there's not. You control everything through the big volume knob and the buttons below that. One other thing that's important to note, so if you right click on this, you can set the buffer size. Sample rate goes to 96 kilohertz. Clock source is internal in my case. Optical it would be if I were to have an external device that I would need to pair up with this one, I would set it to optical. And yes, this also offers loopback. So for you streamers out there, or if somebody wants to record themselves, and wants the internet to hear what he's playing, that's what the loopback is for. Or if you want to record your game or audio or something like that. The other thing I should mention here is if you go to System Panel, you can set your routing however you want. The door-through option, that's important to mention. That allows you to set any one of your inputs to be, or your outputs to be fixed. So if you, let's say your speaker number 2 or all speakers, if you set that to door-through, that would be good if, for example, you would want to route from your, output number 3 and 4 to, let's say, a headphone amplifier. You would want 100% of the volume to go through to the other side, and you would control the volume on your headphone amp that way. And you also have the talkback option. You can select an external talkback source. That's great. If you, for example, have a monitor, a separate monitoring controller, you can use that controller as a talkback device. The ID button, that's middle button on the device that I was mentioning before, the custom button, that's what you can set here. You can set it as alt, so you can switch between your primary speakers and your secondary ones. You have it set like I do, or you can change it to, if you want to control, if you want to hear your sound in mono, dim, etc., etc. So yeah, that's pretty much the overview of the ID control panel. You can also, one other thing before you can save your configuration. So you can, I could save this as a session, and you can do separate configs. If you want to quickly load and switch between them, you have that option. Let me show you how the JFET input sounds, the electric guitar, and after that you're gonna hear my thoughts about how I feel so far, what the pros and cons are, and if I actually recommend this or not. All right, let's go. So would I buy this again? Yes, I would. Not a lot of, there's not a lot of other audio interfaces that come close to this as far as measurements go, and what you get for this sort of money, it's hard to beat it, really. The only one that comes close is the Moto M4, in my opinion, and yeah, maybe the SSL2 Plus. They offer similar measurements in most regards. This has the best headphone output on pretty much any device below $300, I think. There are some bugs that are annoying. One of those is, the one I was mentioning, the USB, when you lose USB power or USB connection, sometimes the interface sort of forgets what inputs it should detect, when you plug it back in. So you have to restart your computer. The same thing happens when you when your computer goes back from sleep. I don't know why that is. Who knows? Probably a bug. The other thing is mic input 2 is not working in Skype, to be specific. I mean, it detects the mic input, but nobody can hear, even though if you check on audio devices in Skype, you can clearly see there's a signal coming in. So I don't know why that is. If you plug it into mic input 1, it works, and it's only Skype. So any other chat communication program works perfectly. So I'm pretty sure it's a bug, but I mean, they'll get it fixed, I'm sure. But apart from that, this is a very, very good device. Clean preamps, enough gain, very good instrument input. You know, the only thing I'm missing is maybe MIDI in and MIDI out. And maybe, you know, 2 more line in inputs. For example, if you've got a, you know, a keyboard that you want to plug in and sort of record the audio from that. But that's pretty much it, you know. I don't have any other things that I would like to see. I hope you guys liked the video. If you've got another question for me, it could be about this interface or any other device have you reviewed in the past, or, you know, audio in general, let me know. You can send me an email or, you know, ask in the comments. And of course, if you want to watch one of my next videos, be sure to subscribe, click the notification button, so you know when it gets uploaded. Apart from that, have a great weekend. I'll see you around.